On to this session of today's Srimad Bhagavatam. Vancha kalpatrupasya kripa sindhu pevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Sanatana Dharma from Sharjah, UAE. Welcoming all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy names which are to be avoided, written by Sri Vyasadeva in the Padma Purana. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. Number 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Number 4, to blaspheme the scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as 42 activities, Karmakanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve these desired success. That is Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session. But before moving to the session, I would like to know who are all on the call today on this auspicious day of Damodar month. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Pratyedasi from Shat. Hare Krishna, happy Damodar month to everybody.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Wish you the same. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to the call,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji, Dandat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Das Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devdasi from College Station, Texas. Wishing all of you happy Kartik. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And happy Kartik month to you also, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj's. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Radha. Happy Kartik month to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Happy Kartik month to you also, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. My humble obeisances to you and all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Happy Kartik to every devotees. This is Varnashrama Devidasi from Baltimore, Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Param Papani Shyama Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. A very happy Kartik month to you also, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. And all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Happy Kartik to you and all the devotees, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And happy Kartik month to you also, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shamaguri Devidasi from Charlotte. Happy Kartik to everyone. Beautiful background, Mataji. And also I have one announcement that this year we are going to do our Vrajamandal Parikrama in this Kartik with Her Grace Padmasakhi Mataji. They have some kind of hurricane or something. So that's why she is not able to do from today, but maybe from tomorrow onwards we will have our Vrajamandal Parikrama. So everybody just get ready to go to Vrindavan.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving this very sweet announcement on the sweet start of this Kartik month. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Shyama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. A very happy Kartik month to you also, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj and Gauranga. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Wishing everyone a happy Kartik month. All glories to all the devotees on the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. There is only one spelling change for my name and your name. Every time I get confused when you say your name, it's like pronouncing as if my name. So, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. A very happy Kartik month to you also, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru and Gauranga ki Jai, and all the assembled devotees. Happy Kartik month to all. Shivani from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Very happy Kartik month to you also, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And thank you so much for all your wonderful services. A very happy Kartik month to you also. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. But before moving to the session, I would like to hand over the call to Shushmita Mataji to give brief introduction about Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Mahabhagavat Prabhuji as our speaker. Prabhuji, though born in a Madhava Vaishnava family, was drawn to atheism in his adulthood. While he started reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is to find faults. This book had a profound impact on his life and clarified a lot of his misunderstandings. He met his spiritual master, His Grace Srimad Sankarsana Das Adhikari Prabhuji in 2004. But it was only after several years of intense discourses and answers to over 600 questions. He was initiated in 2011 at ISKCON, Austin, Texas, and then received his second initiation in 2013 at ISKCON Kaunas, Lithuania. Today, he extensively preaches from all of Srila Prabhupada's books. His primary services are Sankirtana, book distribution, teaching, mentoring, cooking, and deity worships. He speaks English, Kannada, Marathi, Hindi, and Telugu, and has a basic understanding of Sanskrit and German. He pursued a PhD in machine learning and computational linguistics in Toronto, but this coincided with his increasing interest in bhakti and had to choose between the umpteen research papers and the works of Srila Prabhupada. He currently works in the corporate world as a chief technology officer at an insurance company. All glories to all Prabhuji's services. Thank you, Mataji. This was a brief introduction of Prabhuji. Now I will hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading that brief introduction about Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I don't see Prabhuji on the call, so if anyone would like to go ahead with your introduction, please go ahead. Anyone would like to introduce themselves? So, I think till then Prabhuji comes, then we can sing Damodar Ashtakam. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, are you sharing or I can read by myself?
I can share, Mataji. Give me a moment. Please start.
Okay. Namameshwaram Sachitanandarupam Lasatkuntalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyolukhaladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Dhrutagopya रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तं कराम्भोजयुग्मेन सतङ्कनेत्रं मुहुश्वासकं पत्रिरेकाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितक्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिवतम् इति तृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषिदग्नेषुर्भक्तैर्जिदत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सता वृत्तिवन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षावधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेशातपीह इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्याविरस्तां किमन्ये इतं ते मुखाम्बोजं मतेन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तादर मे मनस्याविरास्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देवदामोदरानन्द विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदीनं बतानो गृहाणेश मामाख्यं यदक्षितृष्य कुबेरात्मजौ भक्तमूर्तैव यत्त्वात् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते सुधाम्ने स्फुरद्धितिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायाद विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय धूप्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नन्दलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा दामोदर श्री राधे जय राजा दामोदर राधा दामोदर श्री राधे जय पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद हरे कृष्णा Shukar Krishna Prabhuji is here with us. I think Prabhuji has not joined it. Shukar Krishna Prabhu, would you wish to sing any song for this?
Yes. Yes. Nama Mishwa. That one, you want to sing that or?
Yeah, we have done with that. Any other Kartik month song or any other bhajan?
Mama mana mandire rahonishidi Krishna Murari Krishna Murari Bhakti Priti Mala Chandan Tumi niyo he niyo Chitanandan Jibana Marana Tabo Puja Nibedan Sundaro he Monohari Sundaro he Monohari Krishna Murari Sri Krishna Murari Mama Mana Mandire Rahonishidi Krishna Murari Sri Krishna Murari Isho Nanda Kumar Isho নন্দকুমার হবে প্রেম প্রদীপে আরতি তোমার, প্রেম প্রদীপে আরতি তোমার। নয়নে যমুনা ঝরে অনিবার, নয়নে যমুনা ঝরে অনিবার, তোমার বিরহে গিরিধারী, তোমার তোমার বিরহে গিরিধারী। কৃষ্ণ মুরারি, শ্রী কৃষ্ণ মুরারি, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে।
Hare
Mahabhagavat
Krishna,
sorry,
Prabhuji.
sorry Prabhu, I took your time. Please excuse me, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Anita
for
Mataji.
singing that very beautiful bhajan. And Hare Krishna, Mahabhagavat. You are muted, Prabhuji. Please unmute. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Subramaniam Prabhu, for that beautiful bhajan. I'm
Sorry,
very
my name
grateful
is
to you.
Sukhakar Krishnadas. Forgot to change my name.
Okay.
Sukhakar Krishnadas. Thank you.
Sukhakar Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for that beautiful bhajan. You definitely set the
Thank you.
mood for Kartik here. Very grateful to
Hare
you.
Krishna,
Hare
Mahabhagavat
Krishna.
Prabhu. Please
Thank you.
accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we have with us His Grace Mahabhagavat Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam from Canto 7, Chapter 11, verses 1 and 2. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, 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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Thank you very much for joining this Bhakti Sangha Japa group, the conference call where devotees worldwide are joining. Thank you very much for making the whole world auspicious by your hearing and chanting. I'm very grateful to be here and I beg for your blessing so that something of value can be said today. So we are now in chapter 1 of Canto 7. So we have just completed the Prahlad-charitra. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking these questions. So we'll begin. There are two verses today because the first verse does not have a purport. So we'll have cover both verses 1 and 2. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Shrutvehitam sadhu sabhajitam महत्तमाग्रण्य उरुक्रमात्मनः युधिष्ठिरो दैत्यपतेर्मुदान्वितः पप्रच्छ भूयस्तनयं स्वयंभुवः. The synonyms or the word by word translations of this verse. Shri Shuka Uvacha, Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Shrutva, hearing, Ihitam, the narration, Sadhu Sabhajitam, which is discussed in assemblies of great devotees like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Mahattama Agranyaha, the best of the saintly persons, Yudhishthir. Urukrama Atmanaha, of he, Prahlad Maharaj, whose mind is always engaged upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always acts uncommonly. Yudhishthiraha, King Yudhishthir, Daityapate, of the master of the demons, Muda Anvitaha, in a pleasing mood, Papracha, inquired, Bhuyaha, again, Tanayam, unto the son, Swayambhuvaha, of Lord Brahma. Srila Prabhupada has translated this verse as follows. Shukadeva Goswami continued, after hearing about the activities and character of Prahlad Maharaj, which are adored and discussed among great personalities like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, Yudhishthira Maharaj, the most respectful king among exalted personalities, again inquired from the great saint Narada Muni in a mood of great pleasure. Verse 2. Shri Yudhishthira Uvacha Bhagavan Shrotumichhami Nrinam Dharmam Sanatanam Varnashramacharayutam Yat Puman Vindate Param. Shri Yudhishthira Uvacha Bhagavan Shrotumichhami Nrinam Dharmam Sanatanam Varnashramacharayutam Yat Puman Vindate Param. Shri Yudhishthira Uvacha Bhagavan Shrotumichhami Nrinam Dharmam Sanatanam Varnashramacharayutam Yat Puman Vindate Param. Synonyms or the word by word translations for this verse are as follows. Shri Yudhishthira Uvacha, Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired, Bhagavan, O my Lord, Shrotum, to hear, Ichhami, I wish, Nrinam, of human society, Dharmam, the occupational duties, Sanatanam, common and eternal for everyone, Varna Ashrama Achara Yutam, based on the principles of the four divisions of society and the four divisions of spiritual advancement. Yat, from which Puman, the people in general, Vindate, can enjoy very peacefully. Param, the supreme knowledge by which one can attain devotional service. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Maharaj Yudhishthir said, my dear Lord, I wish to hear from you about the principles of religion by which one can attain the ultimate goal of life, devotional service. I wish to hear about the general occupational duties of human society and the system of social and spiritual advancement known as Varnashrama Dharma. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sanatana Dharma means devotional service. The word Sanatan refers to that which is eternal, which does not change but continues in all circumstances. We have several times explained what the eternal occupational duty of the living being is. Indeed, it has been explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityadas. The real occupational duty of the living entity is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even if one prefers to deviate from this principle, he remains a servant because that is his eternal position. But one serves Maya, the illusory material energy. The Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, is an attempt to guide human society to serving the personality of Godhead instead of serving the material world with no real profit. Our actual experience is that every man, animal, bird, beast, indeed, every living entity is engaged in rendering service. Even though one's body or one's superficial religion may change, every living entity is always engaged in the service of someone. Therefore, the mentality of service is called the eternal occupational duty. The eternal occupational duty can be organized through the institution of Varnashram, in which there are four Varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and four ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. Thus, Yudhishthira Maharaj inquired from Narada Muni about the principles of Sanatana Dharma for the benefit of human society. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisance at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalaam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you again. We will go back, if possible, to that first verse. Mataji, if you can please kindly share the screen again, because there are some wonderful Mother Indulekha Karuna Devi. Thank you so much. There's so much wonderful things in this verse also, even though there is no purport. The word by word translations and the translations of Srila Prabhupada are also purports, because Prabhupada translates some things in very beautiful ways. So Prabhupada has translated this after hearing the Prahlad-charitra, after hearing the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, and the appearance of Lord Nrsingadev and Prahlad Maharaj's prayers and all of wonderful things about Prahlad Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj is actually inspired to see what can get the people in general to the standard of pure devotional service. And he's progressing gradually in a way so as to ask questions in such a way that everybody is benefited from hearing the answers of Narada Muni. Remember, Shukadev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, and Shukadev Goswami is directly quoting a conversation between Narad Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj. So that's the principle. That's the principle of disciplic succession. We always quote our previous authorities, and we can explain, we can expand, but we can never change the principles that have been given by our acharyas. So sadhu sabha sabhajitam. So Srila Prabhupada is translating this as assemblies of great devotees like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva discussing the activities of Prahlad Maharaj. It's clear in previous verses that Prahlad Maharaj's activities were extraordinary, and Nrsingadev was only pacified by Prahlad Maharaj's prayers. not by anybody else's prayers. In fact, the other prayers were made later. And then Mahatama Agranyah, the best of the saintly persons, Yudhishthira. So here is an interesting thing. Yudhishthira Maharaj is considering himself to be a subordinate or junior to Prahlad Maharaj. And that is the mood of the devotee. Even the spiritual master thinks himself the servant of his disciples. That was Prabhupada's mood. That is the mood of our spiritual masters as well. And they accept receiving service as a service, which is extremely difficult to do in a proper mood and proper frame of mind. So, and this is always how devotees are supposed to see each other. We are supposed to see each other, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi suni chena taroriva sahishnuna, or tarorapi sahishnuna. Um, he's saying humbler than the blade of grass, more tolerant than the tree, actually lower than everybody else. This is also very difficult to accomplish, which is why spiritual masters say tie this verse around your neck and always remind yourself of this verse. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, being a pure devotee, is naturally manifesting this quality. So if you think about it, Prahlad Maharaj had one interaction with Nrsingadev, in the assembly of his father after his father had been liberated by Nrsingadev. Whereas Yudhishthira Maharaj is living with Krishna. Now Krishna is acting as his subordinate, as his younger brother, and there are many discussions in which they are lamenting. This is also mentioned in the Bhagavatamrita, where Yudhishthira Maharaj is talking about it, and Narada Muni is telling him, "You, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is living in your house, and you are lamenting that you are not fortunate. That other devotees are more fortunate than you." This is also a great mood for Kartik, to lament that we are not fortunate enough to uh, to pursue pure devotional service. And then Urukrama Atmanaha. You see how superlatives are used for each of these personalities. Mahattama Agranya and Urukrama Atmana. Prahlad Maharaj, whose mind is always engaged upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always acts uncommonly. Urukrama, Lord Krishna. So, Daityapate, the master of the demons, he's in a very pleasing mood. He asks this question. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj's humility is worth emulating. And now we will go to the next verse. From this verse, we can actually pick up this much. There's a lot more here, but the second verse is also really, really amazing. So it's a little bit of a, it's like you have a feast and you have to focus. You have to think about which item of the feast you're going to focus on. Okay, so we'll focus on the second verse. Okay, so we already read the verse and the purport. So there are again many wonderful words that are very highly significant in this. Okay, the first one is the word Bhagavan is used. So Narada Muni is often called Bhagavan in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva is also called Bhagavan. Many personalities in the Bhagavatam are addressed as Bhagavan. When Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj met Srila Prabhupada for the first time, Gaur Govind Maharaj, being a very advanced devotee from his birth and childhood, when he met Srila Prabhupada, he also addressed Srila Prabhupada as Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan means the possessor of opulence. So the devotee, especially the pure devotee, possesses the opulence of pure devotional service, which is more rare than every other opulence in this universe, and even in the spiritual world. Pure devotional service is a very rare opulence. And they're also called Bhagavan because they have the pure devotees have the opulence of renunciation, they have the opulence of knowledge, because whatever belongs to Krishna also belongs to the pure devotee, because Krishna has given himself fully to such devotees. He has fully given himself to Narad Muni, so Narad Muni is able to fully give Krishna to everybody that he meets. So this is another amazing thing. Bhagavan has been used in this verse to describe Narad Muni, even though Narad Muni is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody should misunderstand that. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that the Jiva is always a servant. Jivera Swarupa hoy Krishnera Nityadas. The Jiva is Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. The Jiva is always a part and parcel of Krishna, and the purpose of the part and parcel is always to serve the whole. So if you take a screw or a small part of a big machine, that screw has to serve the machine. If you take a blender or any other appliance, the blade inside the blender, the container of the blender, everything has to serve that entire machine. If it doesn't serve, then you say this is broken, and you might go and get it repaired, for example. So this material world is that repair shop, because all of us who have come to the material world actually want to be the master. Maya Devi, we approached Krishna in a mood of challenge and said, why should you be the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Why should you have all these privileges? Why everybody should focus on you? Why not me? Krishna said, well, that's your position. You are a Jiva and I am Bhagavan, and we can enjoy loving pastimes together. Just look at all my pure devotees. They have no such feelings. And then we said, no, I want to be Bhagavan. So he said, well, you can't be Bhagavan, but I can send you to a place where you can think you are Bhagavan. So we all went to the travel agent named Maya Devi, and then Maya Devi sent us here saying, oh, yes, yes, the whole world will revolve around you in this material world. You are the boss. You are the center. You are number one. But she sold the same package to everybody, all of us. So we came here and now we are struggling, whether we are on the road, whether we're in the stores, whether we are in the markets, whether we are in the competitive examinations or jobs or businesses. Everybody is struggling to be number one, but nobody is number one. They're constantly fighting. Even wars are being fought because people want to feel that they are number one. Okay. So in this world, whether you are, like, we have the concept of law abiding citizens. Everybody on this call in general is a law abiding citizen. We follow the rules and regulations. So therefore we are not in jail, correct? We are outside. We can walk around wherever we like. We can go to parks, we can go to universities, we can go to libraries, we can go to museums, we can go to whatever, we can go to temples, we can do whatever we like, right? Because we are law abiding citizens. So in this world we have some degree of freedom, but also there is a concept of prisons. There are jails. Inside jails also there are citizens. They are also citizens, and they are also living at the government's expense. The government is feeding them, the government is clothing them, the government is giving them accommodation to stay. They don't have to worry about all of that stuff, but their freedom is limited. They have to live within the confines of the jail. They have to follow the instructions of the jail superintendent, and they must do it. There is no choice. They'll be punished if they don't do it. So this is the second category of person who has broken the law and who has now um, living inside the prison. Now you might say, well, there are some people who are outlaws. In other words, that they are not in jail, but they have broken the law. Such outlaws, they live in exile. They cannot live with their friends and their family members. They can't even contact their friends and family members. So it's a kind of self-imposed prison. So whether somebody is living inside the government prison or somebody is living inside a self-imposed prison, the fact of the matter is you are always under the control of the society, because that person does not have the freedom to go to their hometown, meet their friends, meet their families, etc. Right? So in general, the Krishna consciousness movement is considered to be the only educational institution in the whole world, in the whole universe practically, which is actually giving us real education. Okay, so real education does not mean, you know, Hari Hari. Real education does not mean that we go to college, we go to school, and we learn how to make a few dollars. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said this, that this educational system that we have in the world is training the whole world to be Shudras. Because what happens? You get your BA or BE or BTech, you get your MTech or MS or whatever it is that your degree. You might even get a PhD. But ultimately, what do? You go and look for a job. So a person who works for a salary in the scriptures is compared to a dog, because a dog lives on the scraps of his master, right? So um, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas are never meant to be living on a salary. But the whole educational system is training everybody only for that, right? It's training everybody. In fact, the people who start businesses, they actually drop out, in many cases, drop out of the educational system to start out. Like great business people are examples, right? Steve Jobs is an example. Bill Gates is an example. All of these people actually dropped out of the educational system in order to start their businesses, right? So that is the thing. Everywhere else, they are only teaching you how to earn rupees and dollars. That's it. Even if you drop out, that's what was taught to you. No actual education was given to you. No educational institution is teaching anybody how to be a servant of Krishna. Okay, so that's the challenge, and the Krishna consciousness movement is trying to solve that challenge and tell people, my dear sir, my dear madam, you are a servant of Krishna. Why are you wasting your time here suffering unnecessarily? Why are you doing this? Please go back home, go back to Krishna. You will enjoy, Krishna will enjoy your company also. Go. That's the purpose of it. So now how to do it, from the chaos that is there in the material world to getting to the spiritual world, is not an easy task. So the Varnashram institution, is actually set up by Krishna in order to accomplish this, right? So let us talk about what the Varnashram is not, because the Varnashram has been greatly misunderstood by everybody. It is misunderstood by people in India. It is definitely misunderstood by people outside of India. In fact, generally speaking, very few people actually understand what is the actual Varnashram system. Okay, so it is definitely not the caste system that we have today in India prevalent. Mhm. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashah Tasya Kartaram Himam Vidya Kartaram Avyayam. So this is chapter 4, text number 13. If anybody wants to show it on the screen, please feel free to do so. Um, Chaturvarnyam Maya system. So this is a system that is created by Krishna. Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. So Guna means the qualities of the person. It is not necessary that the qualities of the person match their Janma. So for example, we see people born in Brahmin families with all sorts of bad habits. That is not Brahminical qualities, right? We see people who are born in very low class families, but they're extremely pious, right? Prahlad Maharaj is an example. He's born in the Daitya family, and he is a Bhagavat, right? He's a great soul. He's one of the main authorities of bhakti in the whole universe. So the fact that personalities like Narada Muni, personalities like Prahlad Maharaj, many such personalities there is an Upanishad called Jabali Upanishad, where the boy who who later became the sage, um, composed this Upanishad, uh, was actually born as a son of a person, and he did not know who his father was, right? So that is the quality of, but he had the quality of being a Brahmana. So his spiritual master encouraged him, trained him, gave him diksha, and treated him as a Brahmana. So there are so many examples. Vishwamitra is an example. Vishwamitra, like he's a friend of the whole world. He is the even um, not born as a Brahmana, right? There are so many Vashishta, like so many examples of people who were coming from different orders. So Guna Karma Vibhagasha, right? It's not by birth alone, though birth can determine a lot. So for example, if somebody is born in a family of doctors, they are hearing about this medical stuff and these diseases and all of this stuff right from their childhood. They might end up going to medical school, they might end up becoming a doctor, right? It's very possible, it often happens. But there are also doctors who are born in families who are not of doctors, right? And there are children who are born in families of doctors who are themselves not doctors. We would not treat the son of a doctor or a daughter of a doctor as a doctor just because of their birth. So why should we accept that in the system of social orders, right? The four varnas and the four ashrams, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, are divided according to qualities by the gurus of society. But that system has been broken because the fathers wanted to protect their child's future and said, oh, this fellow is useless, but let me try to stamp him as a Brahmana. Right? It's not, the system is broken as a result. Actually, it broke at the time of Shringi when he pronounced an unfair curse about Maharaj Parikshit, and since then it has been declining. Okay, there are also four ashramas, like there is Brahmacharya, which is practically non-existent today. Nobody is taught how to live as a Brahmachari. Absolutely nobody, almost, right? It's very, very rare to find such people, and they are very fortunate, those who have got that kind of training. But most of us, are trained to be very luxury loving, sleep on soft beds, hang around, eating and entertaining ourselves, no austerity, no penance whatsoever. We are taught to be lazy bums, basically, right? It's very difficult. So then there's the Grihastha ashram. Most of us actually in this world don't even know what is Grihastha ashram. We're only living in Grahamedi ashram. So in Grihastha ashram, we are supposed to focus the entire life around Krishna. But in Grahamedi ashram, we focus the entire life around the television. We do arti to the television 12 hours a day or more sometimes. So this is not Grihastha ashram at all. But so we are meant to actually find out what is Grihastha ashram, which is to make Krishna the center. From morning to night, Krishna is the center of our, because Jivera Swarupa hoy, Krishna Nitya Das. We have to practice being servant of Krishna. There are many references to this Varnashram system in the Bhagavatam. So, for example, there's a verse, the famous verse at the beginning of the Bhagavatam, right? In the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, second chapter, I think, verse number 13, I believe, is Atah Pumbir Dvijashreshthah Varnashrama Vibhagashah Swanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. So there the sages are being explained. Ata Pumbir Dvijashreshta, Sutta Goswami, again, who is not born in a Brahman family, okay? Sutta Goswami is explaining to the sages of Naimisharanya, Ata Pumbir Dvijashreshta Varnashrama Vibhagashaha. Therefore, my dear Dvijas, the Varnashram system has been created by the Lord. And then um, one has to do their own duties according to the divisions, but the purpose is to please the personality of Godhead. So all of our great acharyas, if you go back, including Adi Shankaracharya, even though we don't accept all of his instructions that were given for different purposes, but we do accept his Bhaja Govindam song. Even the great acharyas like Shankaracharya, Shripad Ramanujacharya, Shripad Madhvacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one of his closest associates was Ramananda Rai, was born in a Shudra family, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was born in the highest possible Brahman family, but he was associating with Ramananda Rai because of his pure devotion. I won't get into the esoteric parts of Ramananda Rai's identity and so on, because that is not the purpose of this class right now. But it's a fact that all of our, if you look at the translation of that verse, the verse that was just shown, you will see that the purpose is to please the personality of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a human body. In a human body, can you say that the head is more important than the leg? Yes. From one sense, the head is more important than the legs, because without the head, or if the head is not working properly, the legs won't function. But if the legs were not present, or if the legs were diseased, if the legs cannot move, then what can the head do? Sit around becoming crazy. That's all. If the hands were not there, what will the head do? Like, the brain cannot do anything by itself. The brain can only think, but the action is done through the hands and the legs and the stomach and so on. So all of these different parts of the body are required for proper functioning of the body. So similarly, all of the different varnas and all of the different ashrams have to work together. Swanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam, in order to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So real varnashram is where all the varnas and all the ashrams work for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody feels any pleasure if one part of my body is mistreated by somebody and say, "Oh, your head is very important, my dear sir, but I will hit your leg." Nobody will tolerate that kind of stuff. So to the Lord, all of the orders of society, all the varnas and all the ashrams are equally dear, and therefore he sent saints, so many saints who are born in so many different varnas and so many different ashrams, right? Prahlad Maharaj is a grahastha, Narada Muni is a sannyasi, right? So many, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he went only up to Vanaprastha ashram. Like, similarly, all of these systems are created by the Lord and followed by the great saintly person. There's another one that Srila Prabhupada quotes very often. I don't remember the verse number of this verse. Varnashrama charavata purushena puman Vishnur aradhyate pantha nanyat tat karana tat toshana karanam. Like, that verse is there, also by he quotes that verse very often. He loves that verse. That this unless we try to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unless we act as Krishna and Nityadas, nobody is going to be pleased, no matter which varna or which ashram he is. And importantly enough, if you look at that verse 4:13, I think we should look at this on the screen together. Chatu varnam maya srishtam guna karma bhagasha. I want us to focus on the translation. He says, Tasya kartaram vimam vidhi akartaram avyayam. So what it means is that he is the creator, and Srila Prabhupada makes that clear. Although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Krishna is not part of the Varnashram system. Krishna is not Brahman. Krishna is not Kshatriya. Krishna is not Vaishya. Krishna is not Shudra. Even though Krishna can choose to appear in any Varna and any ashram, right? So for example, Krishna appeared as Vamanadev, he remained Brahmachari, like Brahmachari ashram. So Krishna has also many different. When he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas, right? When he came as Lord Rama, he appeared as a Kshatriya, right? So Narsingadev, there is no Varna, no ashram, right? So similarly, Krishna is always outside of this. And in the purport, Krishna says that he is aloof from his creation, right? So Krishna is aloof from his creation. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport very importantly that even the Vaishnava, see, so if you go here, Lord Krishna does not belong to any of these divisions because he is not one of the conditioned souls, a section of whom form human society, right? And then if you go further down, right, a person in Krishna consciousness, however, is above even the Brahmanas, Krishna conscious. So a person in Krishna consciousness in the last sentence, last phrase, a person in Krishna consciousness is also transcendental to all divisions of human society, whether we consider the divisions of community, nation, or species. So actually, Vaishnava is also actually aloof. Technically, Srila Prabhupada explains elsewhere technically that Janmani Jayate Shudra. Everybody is born a Shudra because nobody has any training. The baby does not even know what to eat and what not to eat. The baby does not know how to stay clean. Right? The baby is like that, right? The mother and the father, they train the baby. Don't eat this stuff. Don't put that stuff in your mouth. Right? Don't do this. Come here. This is how you take a bath. Like, they teach. Otherwise, the baby is going to be just like an animal. Therefore, it is said, Janmani Chayate Shudra Samskarat Bhavet Dvija. After performing samskar, and samskar does not mean just the Upanayam samskar. There are so many samskars, and every action by the parents is a samskar. Actually, every action that the child undergoes, everything that the child experiences from his teachers, from his friends, from his neighbors, everything is a samskar, and that sticks in the consciousness. Samskarat Bhavet Dvija. That means by training and by initiation, one becomes a dvija. Then Srila Prabhupada goes on to say, Veda Pathat Bhavet Vipraha Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. So basically, the Brahmana is the fourth stage. Janmani Jayata Shudra, a born person is Shudra. Samskarat Bhavet Dvija, the person who has gotten the samskar has become a Dvija, or one of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya communities. And then Veda Pathat Bhavet Vipraha. If you want to be a Brahmana, you have to become a Vipra. That means you have to study the Vedic literature. Veda Pathat Bhavet Vipraha. And then but just by studying the Vedic literature, one does not become a Brahmana, because Brahma Janati the Brahmana, one who is actually realized that I am Brahman and I am the servant of the Brahman, one who realizes this understanding, that person is called as a Brahmana. Now, so there are 4 stages, as you see, right? So in the Krishna says again, and this verse is also worth showing on the screen for everybody to see. Krishna says in the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Brahma-bhuta prasannatma nasho jatina kankshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Brahma-bhuta prasannatma. That means we saw the 4 stages, right? Shudra, Dvija, Vipra, and Brahmana. He says that once you're situated on the Brahman platform, once you're a Brahmana, then Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param, right? It's a higher stage. So Srila Prabhupada, in his purport in the previous verse 4:13, he's not making this stuff up. He's actually helping us understand the scripture in a very scientific way, right? So we should read Srila Prabhupada's purports very carefully, because Srila Prabhupada is bringing the purports and the commentaries of the previous acharyas into his purport. So he's saying that bhakti actually begins after you reach the Brahman stage. So now this is an interesting thing, isn't it? So it's like a person might come into devotional service, like someone like me, for example, and then there may not be, I might not have any Brahminical qualities, but still, because I am chanting Hare Krishna, I am situated on the transcendental platform, even though I don't realize it. Isn't this amazing? Bhakti is so amazing that a person knows that person does not know that he is what he is doing is situated on the transcendental platform. They are doing it because their friends are chanting, maybe they are coming to the Bhagavatam class because all their friends are sitting in the Bhagavatam class. They are taking prasad because in the temple only prasad is available, right? They might be singing Kirtan because it's fun and young people love to sing and dance and jump in the sky, they love it. So they might be just doing it because they're having fun. So we know from a Vaishnava platform that the practice of bhakti is completely transcendental, even though the new Vaishnava may not yet realize how it is transcendental. So in fact, when we start devotional service, we start at the level of prakrita bhakta. We are in the nectar of instruction. In Srila Rupa Goswami says, which verse is that? It's a verse number 5 of the nectar of instruction. I think this is also worth showing to everybody who's attending the class. He says, what are the different categories of Vaishnavas? He mentions 3 categories of Vaishnavas. He says, Krishne tiyasya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranatibhishcha bhajandamisham shushrushaya bhajana vidnyamananya nindadishunya hridamipsita sangalabdhya. He says what we should do, how we should treat the Vaishnavas. He says one should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. Anybody who is chanting, even if they chanted once, we have to mentally honor that this person is a Vaishnava. He has taken the name of Sri Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. A person who is initiated into deity worship or chanting of the Gayatri Mantra, one should offer obeisances. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in the undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. They don't never criticize others. They might speak the truth to a specific person with the intention of helping them, but they never criticize somebody. Criticism of somebody is a very low class quality. We should not do that, right? So Mahaprabhu also actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the Shikshashtakam. He only gave us 8 verses, formally speaking. He lived the Bhagavat through his life, but he told the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan to take this Shikshashtakam, his Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva, and write write literature based on the Vedic scriptures. So all the 6 Goswamis, Nana Shastra Vicharaneka Nipuno, Saddharma Samsthapako, Lokanam Hitakarino, Saddharma Samsthapako, Vande Rupa Sanatano, Raghujugo, Sri Jiva Gopalako. So these 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan have actually written various scriptures. Nectar of Instruction, the Upadesamrita, is one among them. Mahaprabhu has already said that he has defined when the devotees were visiting him in Jagannath Puri in 3 consecutive years. Mahaprabhu defined what are the 3 categories of Vaishnava. Because you were asked the question, who is a Vaishnava? Who is a Vaishnava? So Mahaprabhu said anybody who has taken the name of Krishna even once is a Vaishnava. No, that is the Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta. That's the first verse. Okay, and then who is the second Vaishnava? He's the person who is initiated, which means that he takes the name always. Dikshasti chet pranatibhishcha bhajantamisham. This person has been recognized by their spiritual master that this person likes to take the holy name. So I shall initiate him so that this person, him or her, so that such that this person now will take the holy name of Krishna continuously. Nirantar jap takes the name of Krishna always. So that's the second category of the Vaishnava. And then the third category of Vaishnava is Ananyamanya Nindadi Shunya Hridamipsita Sangalabdhya is the instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami, where he is saying that a person who has who is a pure devotee, who is constantly absorbed in Krishna consciousness, that person we should take their association. So in this case, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that the highest kind of Vaishnava is the person who induces others to chant the holy name of Krishna. So another thing to note is that there is hope for everyone. Whether we are a beginner Vaishnava, whether we are a Madhyam Vaishnava, whether we are a very highly advanced Vaishnava, it doesn't really matter, because even the beginner Vaishnava, even if they don't know it, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada, are actually on the highest platform. Because let's say we are going to an airport, or we're going to a supermarket, or we're going into a market. Okay, what do they do when they see this tilak? Huh? Even if I am a beginner Vaishnava, as long as I'm wearing this tilak, what do the people do? They say Hare Krishna. So even the beginner Vaishnava like me or anybody else can actually act on the highest platform by inducing others to chant Hare Krishna. So the idea is, and Srila Prabhupada again gave this example, right? He said that Vaishnavas might be like mangoes on a tree. You know, mangoes, when the mango comes, it's a flower. The flower becomes a small, tiny mango this big. Then it grows, 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 grows. It's still green, still green, still green. Right? At a certain point, it starts to turn a little bit yellowish. Then it turns orange. Then it develops a nice aroma, nice fragrance, nice flavor. And at that time, you can take that mango and offer it to Sri Krishna. Right? So similarly, Srila Prabhupada says whether it is a green mango or a ripe mango, there is no real difference. In other words, whether the Vaishnava is mature in their devotional service or still immature in their devotional service, it does not matter, because all that the Vaishnava has to do is stay on the tree, stay on the mango tree. As long as the mango stays on the mango tree, he's going to continue to ripen, isn't it? So that's what I wanted to say in this class. I'll do a brief summary and then see if there are any questions or concerns. Okay, so we talked about Yudhishthira Maharaj's humility. We talked about how Prahlad Maharaj is such an exalted personality that Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva discuss about him. You know, ordinary son of a Daitya, technically speaking, but such a great Mahabhagavat, right? Yudhishthira Maharaj discounted the fact that Krishna was living with them, and that's a fact. Devotee always feels that the other devotee is more exalted than himself. We can see that in interactions between advanced devotees. We looked at the word Bhagavan. Why Narada Muni is addressed as Bhagavan? Because of he possesses the opulence of pure devotional service. We discussed how a jiva is always a servant of Krishna, whether they are in prison or out of prison. This material world is the prison. Durga, Durga Devi is the prison superintendent of this jail. We are all in it right now. But so whether we are in or out, we are constantly serving Krishna. Whether we serve Krishna directly through Krishna's Antaranga Shakti, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Devim Prakritam Ashritaha, whether we are doing the Devi Prakriti or whether we are Mama Maya Duratyaya, whether we are inside or outside, you are constantly serving Krishna. So everybody is a servant of Krishna constantly, and that's what the Mahabhagavat says actually. And then Krishna consciousness movement is the only real educational system, because we are the only ones teaching how to be a servant of Krishna and not be a servant of Maya. Okay. The Varnashrama system is a system described in the process of Krishna consciousness system, which is by Guna and by Karma, not by Janma or alone. Though Janma can contribute to your Guna and Karma, it is not by Janma alone, it is by Guna and by Karma. So Krishna has the famous verse, Chaturvarnam Maya system. We looked at that verse. We discussed how Krishna is aloof from the Varnashram system. Similarly, the Vaishnava also is aloof. When Srila Prabhupada was asked, he was describing the Varnashram system in France, and he was saying, "What about you? What is your position?" And Australia also this happened. Srila Prabhupada said, "I am a servant of the other four Varnas." That's what the Vaishnava. Actually, he is above the Varnashram system, but the Vaishnava, because of his humility, thinks that he is below all of them. He's below the Shudra. He is meant to serve the Shudra also, and that's the Vaishnava's thing. So we discuss how, the verse that Srila Prabhupada loves, Janmani Jayate Shudra. Everybody is born a Shudra. By initiation, one can only come to the platform of Dvija. By study of scriptures, one can come to the platform of Vipra. But only by realization of Brahman and Parabrahman, one can come to the platform of Brahmana, and Krishna says that unless you're a Brahmana, you're not even on the Bhakti platform. So technically speaking, Krishna is elevating a person who is chanting his holy name, who is taking his name to the transcendental platform, even though the beginner Bhakta may not understand. The practice is transcendental, his realization may not be transcendental. Okay, so we can start off as Prakata Bhakta. We looked at Sri Rupa Goswami's instruction, Krishna Yasya Giritam Manatadriyata, which corroborates, is based on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's definition of the three categories of Vaishnava. And ultimately we concluded with the analogy of a mango on a tree, and that if we just remain on this tree of devotional service, we will become mature in our Vaishnava practices. Okay, I'd like to stop here and ask if there are any questions, comments, or corrections in case I have made any mistakes or any of that stuff. I'm welcoming all of that. And before we start the Q&A, wishing everybody a very, very happy Kartik, month of Kartik. I pray that all of us may make tremendous spiritual advancement for the benefit of the whole world. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All
Please
glories
accept
to
mine.
Srila Prabhupada. What a
Jaya
wonderful
Prabhu.
class, Prabhuji. I didn't realize that 1 hour has passed. So as the class was flowing so wonderfully. Thank you so much for that beautiful class with all the references from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and from Bhagavatam also. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. A very happy Kartik month to you also, Prabhuji. So thank you so much for, and keep us all in your prayers to spiritually progress in Krishna consciousness. So with your permission, we'll move on to question and answer session, Prabhuji. So we have a question in the chat. It's from Radha Jyoti Mataji. She is asking, could you please teach more about the prayers of 6 Goswamis?
Srila Srinivas Acharya has composed this prayer called the Shad Goswami Ashtakam. It starts with Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Parau. There are 8 verses, and each of the 8 verses describe the wonderful qualities of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And actually, even though they describe only the 6 qualities of Vrindavan, they describe every single pure devotee. So they describe Srila Prabhupada, they describe Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, they describe Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they describe Sripad Madhvacharya, they describe Sri Ramanujacharya. Because if you look at the activities of all of our acharyas in disciplic succession, all of the acharyas have done the same thing. They have done Krishna Utkirtana. They have loudly chanted the names of Krishna, and they have Nana Shastra Vicharana. They have taken the different scriptures and explained it to us, and so on. So anyone who studies these 8 prayers of the Goswamis, you know that there is a famous saying called, where attention goes, energy flows. So what that means is that if we pay attention to the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan and to the sadhus, instead of paying attention to the cricket stars and the movie stars and the politicians and the business people and all of these different kinds of personalities, our attention will be focused on them, and then our energy also will flow in that direction. And by focusing on these prayers of the 6 Goswamis, those qualities will also manifest in our heart, if that makes sense. Mother Radha Jyoti, are you satisfied with that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances at dust of your lotus feet. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the answer. But actually, there is one understanding that I wanted to know from you. You mentioned about Srila Prabhupada. This is about the 6 Goswamis. So how can we say that this prayer belongs to Srila Prabhupada?
Every pure devotee, So Srinivas Acharya is a admirer of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, and he has written about their 6 qualities. And because if you look at the activities of Bhaktivinoda Thakur or the activities of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and you look at the content of each of the 8 prayers, you will see that they manifested those qualities. The acharyas manifested those qualities. Srila Prabhupada was dear to the friends and the ruffians. He was dear to the sadhus and the asadhus. There was nobody who did not like Srila Prabhupada, for example. Right? Even today, there's nobody who does not like Srila Prabhupada. So similarly, there's nobody who hates Madhvacharya. There's nobody who hates Ramanujacharya. There's nobody who hates any of these personalities, right? Like eventually that's what you see. So you can see that this is a matter of personal reflection, Mother Radha Jyoti. You please try it. Look at the prayers and compare it with Srila Prabhupada's qualities, and you will see that he matches 100%.
Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, one more question. I was thinking about the ashramas and the varnas. So, Prabhuji, if we see today's atmosphere, especially in India, our sect, actually, if we see as a square box, then Hindu, Muslim, and all. If we see Hindus, then there is a square box, curve box. It's like very much discrete. So when it comes to the very lower caste, say STSC, that we see that they have minority, and then they have the majority of the rules and regulations are given to them, facilities are so much given to them, and they are exploiting the society. More or less it is happening on a larger scale. Those who are
See, it's wait,
open minded,
hold on. I'd like to stop
they
you there.
can.
I'd like to stop you there because you're kind of going in a un-Vaishnava tangent. Okay, so I'd like to stop you there because I want to remind you that we as Vaishnavas are not meant to see anybody on any kind of bodily distinction. The moment I make a distinction that this person is a Hindu, this person is a Muslim, I'm already out of Vaishnava behavior. The moment I
No,
think,
my question is
wait,
not
please,
like
please,
that, Prabhuji.
please let me just make this clarification. Huh? If I see somebody as a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe person, then I am forgetting Krishna's instruction, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke. Wherever somebody might be, my duty as a Vaishnava is to see them as Krishna's Ansha, first and foremost. Okay, now you can talk about certain people who are exploiting rules and regulations. The second that point that you made, because your question was getting long, I wanted to address the question at the right point so that you can continue afterwards. So the second point is that everything that we experience in the world is a result of our own karmic reactions. And this is an instruction by Lord Brahma. Tattenukampam susamikshamana Bhunjan evatmakatam vipakam Hridvagvapurvir vidadhan namaste Jive tayo mukti pade sadaya. We should think, I am born in Kali Yuga because I am so sinful. I am born in a disadvantaged situation in according to today's social condition because I'm in a sinful condition. I am born with disadvantage. I'm born with the inability to remember things. I'm born with the inability to follow Vaishnava principles. But a person who remains grateful to Sri Krishna for giving them correction makes spiritual advancement. So we should not so much focus on the interactions, Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Like we should not try to remain inside of the activities of the three material modes of nature. Srila Prabhupada gave us this instruction. What is the use of discussing all of these things? Right? Instead of that, I should try to figure out how I can take that person, and try to help them to chant the name of Krishna once. Because the moment they chant the name of Krishna once, they are Vaishnavas. In fact, I can tell you that 99% of the Muslims in India at least are Vaishnavas because they have a friend. Somebody is named Ram, somebody is named Krishna, somebody is named Madan Mohan, somebody is named Keshav. They are calling these names constantly, right? So they are all, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's definition of Vaishnava, almost all of the Muslims are actually Vaishnavas because they have taken the name of Krishna at least once. So what are we supposed to do according to Rupa Goswami? Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyata. We have to respect them as a Vaishnava first inside the heart. Then we won't see their beard, we won't see their cap, we won't see their other behaviors. We'll say, okay, this person is a Vaishnava, he's just a green mango on the tree as of now. Or he might be a bud, a bitter tiny fruit, for example. That's possible. But still he's a mango on the tree because of the good fortune of being born in India and having a friend named Keshava.
Yeah, that's true. But my question was, while distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, I came across with this, and the question arises that what is there for us, because we are always exploited. So my question to you was, what reference we could tell them that this is not the way in which they are, looking at us. So they
Yes.
neglect us. That is the
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
That was
No,
my question.
that's a wonderful question. Actually, thank you very much. I was clarifying all the previous points just in case anybody else gets on a tangent as well as myself or anybody else here. So thank you very much. But when we are distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, you can tell them that you have been exploited because of a misunderstanding of these instructions. You have to tell them that people are not following the Varnashram as you are supposed to. Look at ISKCON, right? Do we have all pujaris born in Brahmana families? Do we have all spiritual masters born in Brahman families? Look at ISKCON. ISKCON is the proof that this Vedic Varnashram system works. ISKCON is the proof, right? Where this is the only society in the world where women are given diksha properly. I mean, yes, Ramanuja Sampradaya also does that, but we are doing that around the world. We are giving Brahman Diksha, Sannyas Diksha to Africans and Americans. Where in the world is this happening? We have sannyasis in our movement who were born in Muslim families today, right? So what we should say is, look, Chaturvarnyam Maya system Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. This is not being followed by traditional Hindu society. So, but ISKCON is following that. One. Two, Varnashrama is meant for helping everybody advance according to their own propensities. It is not meant to oppress anybody. Krishna does not like this. Whatever is happening in terms of oppression is not liked by Krishna. So my request to you is, you please take this, you please read this. Know that Srila Prabhupada himself was not born in a Brahmin family. He was born in a Vaishya family, right? But he is Jagat Guru, right? So our acharya, even if you are born, for example, like just by the face somebody can tell that you are born in a certain kind of family, for example, right? So you can say that, look, my acharya even is was not. So we don't care really about your birth. We just care about your qualities and your activities. So my request to you is, you please take this book, you please manifest this book, and you teach this book to everybody, including the foolish Brahmins who don't understand the principles of the Bhagavad.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for enlightening us today. And eternally grateful to you, Prabhuji. And we look forward for your association. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much. And please keep distributing those books. That is the only thing that will save the world, in addition to Harinam Sankirtan. And if somebody cannot take a book, please give them prasad. Thank you so much.
Please bless me to serve
Hare
you all
Krishna.
devotees as well as the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Distribute thousands of sets. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving a tip like how we have to go and get connected with these people in distributing the books. So we have Shubhakar Krishna Prabhu raised hands.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Anita Madhava, thank you very much for giving me a chance. And you are really Mahabhagavat only, Prabhu. The name you are given is correctly by the Guru, Mahabhagavat Das. So I met a Mahabhagavat today. I'm so happy. Prabhu, you are from Mumbai. You are from Maharashtra, or from which place you are?
I am from the spiritual world.
Yes,
but I am wasting my time in the material world.
Yes. Golok Vrindavan. Yes. I'm not supposed to ask the question, because just not for making any distinction or
I
anything.
speak many languages. My mother tongue is Kannada. I speak Marathi fluently because I was in Pune and Mumbai for many, many years. I speak Telugu because my 1/3 of my family is Telugu. And then I speak Hindi. I speak a little bit of German. I speak English, obviously. So these are the languages that I know. And I understand many other languages because I have an ear for languages. I also understand Tamil, Prabhu. Konjum konjum teri.
Namaskara sir, ಏನು ಸಮಾಚಾರ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. I'm a Tamil only. Like you also, I have also interest for languages, not so proudness. I learned around 18 languages, 12 Indian and 6 foreign. So I want your idea, how do I take it forward, in the sense, what I do normally if I go and meet a Kannada family, I'll say Namaskara. When we speak in their language, they feel very happy.
The language is bridges.
ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತು ಬಳಿಕ ಅಲ್ಸೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ದೇರ್. Then they become friend. Then I sing one small Kannada song, Krishna ni begane baro.
Beautiful
They
voice.
feel happy. I learned Kannada music for 14 years. I'm a violinist. I'm a chartered accountant. I learned violin. So then they are sort of my friends. Then they will never leave me. So like that, I go to Malayali. Malayali, Anna, God's own country. I'm T.N. Sheshan's brother's son. T.N. Sheshan is my uncle.
Very well.
Sheshan. So like that, I go to all the people. So I was in Dubai for 20 years, speak Arabic fluently. They'll say haram, al-haram, they say. So haram, ram is coming so many times. So what is my, this one is, like Srila Prabhupada has spread all over the world. Okay, I'm just a small, tiny, this one I'm disciple of Jaya Maharaj. So just like a wildfire, I'm already 66. I'm trying my best, but how to make it with wings to go forward? Because the Bhakti Viksha and all are small, in their area, small area. So I'm going to give speeches in different places. I want your idea to make it a fast fare. Because I'm not pure, that's why I cannot become Prabhupada or anybody, but in my own space.
Your Prabhu, Sukakar Krishna Prabhu, your spiritual master has already empowered you. Jayapadaka Maharaj is preaching all over the world. I should tell you, once I was in one of the national parks of Arizona, where there was only a forest, essentially. And there, inside the national parks, the local Native Americans are allowed to have stores, like, stalls. They can sell things. They are the only ones who are allowed there because they are the native people from there. So I saw one stall like that near Flagstaff, Arizona. And I saw one person, he was wearing a hat. He was clearly, he had the features of a Native American person. And he was coming. And at that time, I was not dressed in devotional clothes because I was hiking in the forest, in the mountains. But I still had my tilak on. And when I came, as I came closer and closer and closer, I saw that this person also had some kind of marking that looked like a tilak. Okay. So I was thinking, oh wow, look at that. The cultures must be so similar, like around the world before, the Kali Yuga started, that they're also very. No, I came closer and closer and closer. And that person, as I came about 5 feet from him, he offered obeisances. I'm saying this person is not a Native American person. He is actually a Vaishnava. So I offered my obeisances too. And then, okay, so that person is your god brother. His name is Lakshmikanta Prabhu. And Jayapadaka Maharaj initiated him more than 20 years ago when he had gone to Arizona for 2 nights, only 2 nights. Okay. He was in 2 nights in this place, and this person has been following the regulative principles and practicing Krishna consciousness despite the lack of much devotee association. So your Guru Maharaj has already empowered you, Prabhu. You just have to meditate deeply within the instructions given to you by your Guru Maharaj, and I'm pretty sure that you will be fully successful in spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world.
Thank you for your blessings, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You are Radhanath Maharaj disciple, no? You are Radhanath Maharaj disciple, no?
I am a disciple of Srila Sankarshan Das Adhikari.
Oh,
but Radhanath Maharaj, many great souls have instructed me, including Radhanath Maharaj.
Sankarshan Das Adhikari, America, that person who is the Grasta, but giving initiation for so many devotees all over the world.
He's Vanaprastha. They took Vanaprastha ashram on the day of their wedding.
Yeah.
Because both of them were only interested in preaching. They were not interested in family life. Yes.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you very much, Sukakar Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Prabhuji,
we have
do
few
you
more
have
questions.
time? We have questions, Prabhu.
Yeah, I have the time. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Parampapani Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for the opportunity. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept now.
Hare Krishna, Mother Parampavani.
Prabhuji, in the Sadgoswami Ashtakam, I wrote that it's his Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Nirmatsara Pujito. So Prabhuji, you mentioned that both Dhira and Adhira all love them, or it's the Ajata Satru quality. May did not like them or hate them. They do not have any Shatru because they are non-envious to everyone. Can you please clarify? Hare Krishna.
So what exactly do you want me to clarify?
Like, is it like no, all of them, whether Dhira or Adhir likes them, or like them, or they do not consider anyone as an enemy?
Yes, yes. So I think this is encapsulated again in Srila Prabhupada's interaction. So Srila Prabhupada said this the best. One disciple asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, these people love you. He remarked like this, Srila Prabhupada, these people love you. And Srila Prabhupada said that they love me because I love them. So because a Vaishnava is Paradukha Dukhi, and because a Vaishnava is really interested, like for example, the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, they would see ordinary people, and I've heard that they would ask the people about how's your cow that gave birth to the calf the other day? You know, how is your daughter-in-law doing now? Is she still fighting with your wife? Right? So he would ask questions like this: how is your child doing? Right? How is your health? You know, your so and such was paining. How is that doing? So they would ask these kinds of questions, even though they themselves are not really interested in Gramya Katha, because they were interacting on the level of the person that they are dealing with. So if you see advanced spiritual masters, when someone asks them a question, they answer the question according to the level of the person asking the question. So the same question can have 10 different answers, but they will answer the question according to the level of the person who is asking that question. Srila Prabhupada answered the same question differently. So in general, when we develop Vaishnava qualities, yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunes tatta samasate suraha harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorathe nasati dhavato vahi. A person who develops akinchana bhakti, pure devotion to Krishna, naturally develops all the other good qualities. We may not have to actually separately cultivate these qualities, but it's good to be aware that this is my bad quality and this is my weakness and this is where I'm experiencing some difficulties, etc. Does it make sense, Mother Param Pavani? They were actually like that because they actually had pure love for Krishna. They had pure love for everybody else, and people can, the spirit soul can feel it. If I'm going out on book distribution and if I have a superior attitude, I feel like I know something better than some person, that person will never take a book from me. They will only take something if they perceive that I'm actually a humble well-wisher of them, like that. Even when we are giving a class or whatever, somebody will like something from a great Vaishnava, like, you know, spiritual masters giving classes. People love those classes because they know that this person is really my well-wisher. There, even though they might be speaking strongly in many cases, you know. So that's how it works. But yes, Mataji, thank you very much. Beyond that, I have to stick to the level of my realization. I can't explain beyond that.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So I could see more hand raises. Shashikala Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Bhagavan, all glories to Srimati Guru Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, regarding the analogy of mango, staying on the tree would do the job. Many times, the gravity to fall down is so strong. The mango fruit doesn't know the consequence.
See, hold on, Shashikala Mataji. You cannot take any analogy too far. Any analogy, if you take it too far, it will break, right? Because these are mundane material examples used to describe a transcendental concept, just to help us to understand it. You know, like for example, like it's like, you know, we cannot take any analogy too far. But that said, I understand your fear because I've read your question in the chat here. I understand your fear. I might fall down. You know, I might. So don't worry. The tree of devotional service is very, very strong. And even if you fall down, Krishna will find a way to pick you up and put you back on the tree. Okay. So especially you, I know your sincerity. So you don't worry about this. Please continue as you're doing right now. And you will stay there and you will serve Srila Gurudev for this lifetime and continuously. Don't worry about it right now. Just follow your devotional service practices consistently and sincerely, and doing the best you can. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Prabhu. Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Prabhuji, we have questions in the chat. Okay,
So we have one comment. We have one comment from Saurabh Prabhu.
Yeah, Saurabh,
Yes. We have a class. We have a question there. Diksha Guru and Diksha Guru are always blessing us, even though if we haven't done anything. So that means we are not ready enough. We will not be able to capture that. Yes, correct. 100%. Saurabh Prabhu, your understanding is 100% correct. So blessings are coming. Krishna is constantly pouring the rain of mercy on us. But if we don't accept that mercy, if I hold an umbrella, I will never get wet. Right? If I will put on a raincoat, I will never get wet. So Krishna's mercy rain, I have to expose myself to it. I have to accept his mercy. And everything that happens to me is Krishna's mercy. So whether it is so-called good or so-called bad, it's always Krishna's mercy. You know the famous story, everything all for the best. We don't have time to go into the full story right now. There was a minister who was always saying all for the best, and the king punished him for that. But then I'm sure Prabhupada tells that story often, so I'm sure you have heard that. But yes, your understanding is 100% correct, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I think that is the Tenali Raman story. So in that, Tenali Raman will say when the king's hands has got cut, he will say everything is for good.
So it has been told. I have heard it in many different versions, so I don't know exactly where it comes from. But Srila Prabhupada has said that story, and it's a nice story. He did not mention Tenali Raman at that point when he said that, but yes, I have heard it many different versions.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So we don't find any more questions in the chat or hand raise. Yeah. So with your permission, we'll end the call here, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Once again, we wish you a very happy Kartik month.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and association, and we want your association in future also. So with your permission,
please bless me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You keep us all in your prayers, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Vancha
kalpatarubhyaścha kripa sindhubhyeva
Patitanam pavanebhyo namo namaha.
ki jai.
Jai.
His Grace Mahabhagavat Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Gauranga,
Such an amazing
Nityananda, Gauranga, Jai Shri Radhe Shyam, Sanpurna Vrindavan Dham.
Hare
Jai Ho,
Krishna.
Radha
Thank you.
Rani.